Blackmail, love triangles, and did he really bring a gun to a swamp fight? Strap in, get your boots, we're going into the swamp. Let's get into it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What up, what up, what up? We're back, guys. This is a Swamp Thing after show. This is episode 6, titled The Price to Pay. I'm Jeff Williams. I am your host, and we're just going to get right into it. Let me throw it over to my partner, my ride or die, Anais.
Hello, and no, we did not plan to wear the red sleeve.
We didn't plan
DC
it,
shirts today.
but that's why she's my ride or die, because we already know. We're already here, so like it's good. Yeah. We got the superheroes. We're talking Swamp Things, and in this episode, we're talking the love triangle between Abby, Matt, and Alec. What's going on there? And then we see a lot of drama with you see Matt and his mom, Lucilia. Yes. And then we also have Danny, Avery, and Jason, and all the drama that's going on with that. So we have a lot to unpack in this episode and see what's going on. But before that, just what's your overall thoughts?
I liked, we got to find out a little bit more, more secrets being revealed in this episode. I especially liked that, we got to see how, Matt is probably not this, as good of a guy as, he probably appeared at the beginning. And I really like that Abby is finally getting to see that Avery is not this great guy that she... Or not really that she thought he was the best thing ever, but she's kind of seen his true colors.
Yeah, at first I didn't know what she thought of Avery, because I knew they had an okay relationship, but then seeing this episode, you kind of see that she at first had maybe a father-daughter relationship or something close. So yeah, that was cool to see. Mm-hmm. And then I always love seeing Swamp Thing when you see him learn his more powers. Yeah. And the part at the end, seeing that was really cool. Yes. But let's jump right into it. We're gonna talk Alec, Abby, and Matt, and that love triangle from the beginning. And there was so much going on. Just from the jump, you see people trying to attack Alec, Swamp Thing. You see him try to attack him, and then he pretty much defends himself. Mm-hmm. And it almost turns out like he's the bad guy, but we know that he's just defending himself. What did you think about that when you saw that part?
I mean, it was justified. I mean, he's defending himself. You want him to just be yeah, shoot me. No. And, I mean, he's just, a misunderstood person. It's kind of one of my favorite movies, Edward Scissorhands, he's kind of hidden away, no one really knows about him. He has one female friend that really knows the true person, and people are trying to they attack what they don't understand. And I'm glad that he defended himself.
Yeah, and
I don't blame him.
And I thought he was defending himself as well, and it was justified. But you also see him kind of struggle with it as well, because he's starting to realize, yeah, I was defending myself, but I also hurt these guys. Yeah. And it almost seemed like he was, not that he wanted to do it, but he knew it was okay, because the darkness in him or something in him was making it okay. So it was him also struggling with the new him, pretty much, the Swamp Thing, and also trying to realize I'm still Alec, and how does he balance that? So I'm still trying to figure out how is he going to balance that, or if he's going to balance that, because he talked about how the Phantom Stranger was telling him how he's going to learn how to be Swamp Thing more, and is that a good thing? Mm-hmm. Do you think he should learn how to be Swamp Thing more, or should he continue to be Alec? Because if he's going to be Alec, then he's going to be able to hang out with Abby. But if he's Swamp Thing, he's going to stay Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I think he should, maybe try to find a balance. But I was wondering, too, because, they at the previous episode, he said, the Phantom Stranger said that, the green or, the trees, they kind of have all these memories of things that happen around them. And I'm just well, wouldn't, Alec be able to see, exactly what happened to him that night? Why haven't they shown him that? That's what I'm wondering. I wonder if hopefully it's going to happen maybe in a later episode, but I'm just why hasn't that happened yet? Shouldn't they show him that part, because then he would probably know the truth about Matt, because I thought he was going to find that out.
See, I thought that as well, but then, because when he looks at him, he's wait. And then he's no, I saw you, and he's just talking about what he actually saw. Yeah. So I'm guessing I don't want to put this in. Well, this is outside the predictions. I'm guessing that he's gonna actually think about it and then touch, because he touched one of the trees and then starts to actually see what the tree sees. So that's gonna have to come up soon, especially if more people start coming out and more people start asking, because he's gonna want to know.
That's true. And one of my predictions last week was that something was gonna kill Matt, and that kind of almost happened today. I was like, oh my gosh, is that actually gonna happen?
Jeez, like everybody was going for Matt. Everybody was going for Alex, and then Matt over here is like, he's the bad guy now. Yeah. Like, is he the bad guy though?
No, I kind of do think he is.
Because there's like mixed feelings. Because at first we see him doing all these great things, and then he's like being helpful to Abby, just being a good cop, just being a good cop. And now we see a little bit of turn. He's like, oh wait, you killed Alec just because you were paid to do it, and we'll talk more about that. But he shot Alec, and then you see him go directly to his mom right after that. He's probably gonna tell somebody. He seems like the jealous type, and you could tell that there's still a love triangle going, because Abby is like torn between helping Alec or telling Matt or just recruiting Matt to help, pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely the jealous type. I saw that in like the first few episodes, and then when she was when he kind of realized like, oh, so now I know why you're like always going to the swamp or something at night. I was like, oh god, he's getting jealous again. He's probably sad that like Alec is still alive. He's like, god dang it, I thought I got rid of him.
Exactly. And then he literally said, come with me, like when he was leaving on the boat, and she's like, no, I need to be here. I'm like, that's it for him. That's like, okay, well,
I was happy when she said that. I'm like, yes, girl.
Exactly. But like, I don't know what that means for Matt.
Just give it up, Matt. I mean, I know there's not that many fish in Moray. There's a very small town, but go on Tinder in another town. Go find someone else.
I wouldn't really look for fish in that swamp.
Yeah, I mean,
especially him. He for sure shouldn't. But yeah, so
I mean, if she leaves you for a swamp thing, you got no chance, dude. Just saying.
My guy, move on.
Yeah,
that's messed up. Oh. Yeah, but there's so much going on between Alec, Abby, and Matt, and it's just like, what's next? Like, do you think that was the last straw for Matt for like helping Abby? Do you think he's just gonna turn all the way evil, I guess, or just against her, not evil?
No, I think there's still some time. Like, I think he might try to kind of just tolerate, Alec or something for a while, and then maybe like later on, if he can find a way to like get rid of him but not make it seem like he was involved, I think he would take it. I think he's that kind of guy. Like, I won't, no one can pin it on me, but I can get rid of him. I think he would do it. I was
supposed to say, that's still evil.
Yeah, that's true. And remember, I don't know, a few after shows ago, we had talked about how like, I think when Taron is here, like, how can you fall in love with someone after like a day or something? But they kind of talked about that in the quote in the beginning. I wrote it down when Alex said, you can spend your entire life with someone and hardly know them, or you can meet a stranger and just like that you get them. I felt something between us, didn't you? And I was like, okay, I can kind of like get it now.
They're going for the straight true love at first sight.
Yeah. I mean, but it is kind of true that, that you can spend your entire life with someone and you don't really know them. So I'm like, okay, they kind of explained it now. So I got a little bit satisfaction from that.
They did that for like every person in the comments. Or like, how are they really in love? She met him for like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah,
we were one of them.
They put that voiceover quote like last minute. Like, we gotta put that in there. So.
Oh snap! I saw the comments last week.
Yeah.
Because
I don't remember him saying that like in the first episode, but they made it seem like he did say that when they first met. So I'm like, okay, that was your way of like replying to all that stuff.
Definitely. Well, we want to hear what you guys want to know. Or we want to hear what you guys think about this whole love triangle thing. Is Matt gonna just turn on Abby, like, or is Matt gonna end up helping them? There's so many things that's gonna go on. Is Alec gonna be Swamp Thing full on, or is he gonna try to work with Abby and save himself? There's so much stuff going on.
Oh my gosh, the flower.
The flower.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, at the end of the episode, and it's like a surprise to him because he's like expressing his emotions. He's saying that he's talking to her, expressing that he wants to be, or not wants to be with her, but they're having a good intimate moment, and then you see his powers create a flower.
Wow, that kind of, and he looks so cute, like a little swamp thing, all smiling. I was like, oh, I just thought it was so cute. It kind of, I called it the Beauty and the Beast flower because it kind of reminded me of like Beauty and the Beast. Like when you love someone, it's like, you know, he is still the swamp thing, but like it's like his love kind of sprouted this flower, kind of like in Beauty and the Beast. It had like a rose or something, so it kind of reminded me of Beauty and the Beast.
And then whatever was in that flower, you could actually see Alec, the human. So that was cool to see, and I wonder if we'll see more of that. I'm hoping we'll see more of that because, like, one, the actor needs to get paid. No, but it'd be cool to see more of that interaction because we get a little bit of Abby and Matt, or Abby and Swamp Thing, and it's not as intimate as an Abby and Alec would be.
Yeah, I wonder if it like gave Abby some hope. Like, there's hope, he can become human again. That's kind of how I felt. Like, she was like, there's hope. He doesn't have to be this green swamp thing anymore. But well, I don't think she's that shallow. I think she'll, you know, she's like Belle from Beauty and the Beast. She'll still like him even though he's a swamp thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's not that shallow because she stay going in the swamp looking for him, defending him till she sees all the people that he injured. She's like, don't call the cops. I got this. Yeah. So it's
true love.
Yeah, true love from day one. But before we get into Matt and Lucia, because we got a lot of mama son drama, we got a lot of family drama. There's so much blackmail, there's so much stuff in that. We just want to hear what you guys want to say, but Anais, I'm gonna throw it over to you.
Oh, for the news maybe, or the
no, I was
so thank everyone for watching. And
I was gonna say we talked about this earlier, how you wanted to thank everybody about the comments.
Yeah, sorry. I want to thank everyone for making AfterBuzz TV the ESPN of TV talk, and it would really help us out if you could comment, like, subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, if you could give us a 5-star rating, it would really help us out. We love hearing, reading your comments, so please let us know what you think. And, just happy to be here at AfterBuzz doing some, because I love DC, so doing this DC show. Then we're both going to be on the Young Justice Outsiders one, so look out for that. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Yes,
on Sundays. I'm so pumped for that. Young Justice is back and we are out here. Yeah. But before that, let's get back to Swamp Thing. And we got to talk about Matt and Lucilia. I'm going to get that name right eventually.
They're trying to copy my name.
All I'm saying is they threw an L in her name. It could have just been Lucia.
It could have been like mine, Lucia, but no,
exactly.
Lucilia.
It's okay. They just wanted your names. But yeah, there's so much drama in there. And then the crazy part about it, to me, she came in so hot. The sheriff came in so hot. She was ready to just go after her son and just reprimand him pretty much and just like, what are you doing? And he just flips the whole switch. I know I definitely was not expecting that. What did you think when you saw that?
Yeah, I was not expecting that he knew like as much as he did. I was like, dang boy, like they're both corrupt. I think they're both corrupt. And I'm kind of glad that he kind of stood up to her in a way.
Yeah, I'm like, but also he talked about how he's gonna leave. He wanted to leave the city. So like I was confused. I'm like, you want to leave the city, but you know that your mom is pretty much being blackmailed by Avery, and you're just gonna leave? I mean, I guess he's just that mad. That mean, are they at that breaking point?
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do for your mom, okay? And I feel like he can't, I guess, do all these things to protect her forever. She has to kind of, at some point, I feel, take responsibility and, I don't know, resign, girl, or something, because you're just messed up, I think, like, at some point, that stuff, everything she's done is going to get out. So I feel like just save face, girl. Resign before, everything gets really bad. So, you know. And Matt has to leave so he can find his true love, because he's not going to find in Moray. I'm just saying.
The crazy part about it is, like, there's usually, like, a good guy and a bad guy. There was no real good guy in this. This was just bad and worse. And they were trying to justify who's worse in this situation. And, like, as a viewer, I didn't even know whose side I should be on. I'm just watching, like, honestly, y'all both wrong. And I hope y'all both don't find love. And they not find love.
That's how I felt, too.
That's just an evil person in me. Like, y'all bad people. Y'all deserve bad things. But, no, that was crazy. Like, there's no good guy in this situation. So, like, I mean, there's no way to move past that. Or how do they move past it, I guess?
Just Avery. He just has, like, his hands.
Exactly. Avery's messing up with... He's just controlling that whole family. it's not even through money, because he doesn't even have money. He's using blackmail. He's using all the favors that she and Matt did against for Avery. And it's crazy to see. So I'm very interested to see how that goes down. But Avery has a lot of drama already besides Matt and Lucilia. He's dealing with Danny and Jason. And before Avery even comes into that, we see Jason drugging Danny. And it's like, when I first saw that, it didn't click, because I was like, oh, it's like, what is he doing with the IV bag? And then later in that episode, you see them put the IV bag. So did you?
I kind of knew when he was, since Danny was in the coma, I was like, oh, he's gonna, that's for Danny. But I didn't know exactly what he was expecting to happen. Yeah.
We talked about this in previous episodes. Is Jason a bad guy, or is he like evil? And I always try to defend him. I was like, nah, he's just a scientist. He's not bad anymore. But he's just full on evil scientist now. He's like, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to get my job done and to figure out a cure. Because at the end of the day, he's trying to save his wife. At least that's what we feel like our game plan, his game plan is.
I feel like he's more misguided. Like, I don't feel he's like completely bad yet. Maybe, when he becomes Floronic Man, he will. But yeah, I feel like, that's what the reason I don't say he's completely bad is because he wants to save his wife. He has like good intentions, but he's misguided, so he's going about it the wrong way.
Bad people could have good intentions. Evil scientists could have good intentions to themselves. But he's using.
But then he talks about how this could help other people when he's talking to his wife. Like, oh, imagine what it could do. So he's trying.
Very true. We'll try to keep a little bit of optimism for him. But yeah, so he goes in not drugs. He puts the serum that he's working on in Danny, and we see that change him, and it kind of like jump starts his powers, because before we see Danny trying to leave the city, so we see a little bit of it. We see it in his arm and stuff, but now he's like in a coma, and he wakes up from the coma, and he's full on burned and can't touch him anywhere. What's going on? And this is like the beginning. This is the beginning of the Blue Devil. And during that time, we start seeing flashbacks to when he was actually acting. I thought that was really cool to see, because he kind of mentions it and talks about it, but then you see him actually on set, like what brought him to Maria, and I think that was really cool to see.
Yeah, when he started getting all hot, I thought maybe like the hospital was outside the city limits. That's why he was hot. Like he needed to get back to Maria, because that would
make sense.
Yeah, but then it just it was consistent. Like it wouldn't go away. I'm like, oh, okay, it had to do with the serum. So.
I was gonna say, I think that thing just jump started him and just turned him full on Blue Devil. I felt so bad
for him though. Like he was like suffering. He's like, oh my god, like I just felt so bad.
My man's was running around the whole city burning, just looking for help and stuff.
How horrible.
And then like we see Liz there trying to be a great friend, trying to help, trying to like get him in the right direction, and he's like, no. He just moves her to the side pretty much and goes after Jason. And we see him confront Jason, but also confront Jason's wife, Caroline. And that's a whole tricky situation, because Caroline already overheard Jason and Avery's conversation about testing Danny without consent, pretty much. So she's already not about it. So seeing this whole showdown go down, there's so much drama going on between Danny, Avery, and Jason, and now she's brought into it pretty much. And she actually like saves the day, because the gunshots aren't really working. Yeah. Like, at least I don't believe. Did he actually shoot Danny?
Well, the first time he got poor Danny, like the end of the first episode, he got hit with the crowbar. I think, and then put in the hospital. Now I think she stabs him.
Yeah. No, for some reason I thought I heard one of the gunshots.
I think it was a warning shot. Okay. Yeah. Warning
shot. Because when I heard that, I was like, oh, so I guess he just can't be shot then. And then the second time he like stood there, it's like, so maybe he didn't get shot. Yeah. But yeah, so she pretty much saves the day in that situation and contains Danny by stabbing him in the neck with I'm guessing a tranquilizer or some sort. And how is she gonna feel about this? I honestly thought she's leaving after this. I wrote that down. I was like, oh yeah, she's got to be gone. Yeah. Like that's just too much to deal with. And the crazy part about it is, Avery, after seeing this whole thing, Avery's like, no, we're still going through with it. So it's like, there's levels. It's levels to this craziness, or levels to this evilness. There's only like, the question is, who is a good guy other than Abby? Like, who are the good
Alec.
people? Alec, but
That's it.
but
And
also
Liz.
he does. But he's killed before, so it's like
But in self-defense,
there's a lot of gray area.
I think self-defense doesn't make you bad.
Oh, I agree with you, but there's got to be a spectrum, because this show has a little bit of everybody on this spectrum of evil, and it's like everybody's either evil or good, or just like, what's going on. So there's a lot, but
there's a lot of shades of gray on this show. Shades of green.
yes, we're gonna stick to shades of green for sure, because this is guessing a Pete. This is not the other show.
What did you think? Okay, so I mean, I don't think obviously he was not gonna die. We said last episode Daniel was not gonna die, even though like he got hit. But then Madame Xanadu comes and like does stuff to him. I at first I was like, is she like putting him to rest? Because she's like is she like making him like die peacefully? Because she kind of seemed to calm him down. But see, I don't think I think
she just like helped the pain, because she said, I'm just gonna help with your pain. I can't control your future. I can just help with the pain. And then when she does that, she said, don't tell anybody. And I was kind of confused by that. I was like, does she have more powers than what people think in the city? And that's what I'm gathering from don't tell anybody, because people go to her, they get information from her, but they don't really see her use like actual powers. It's more like of like telling the future type stuff.
Well, it's probably good, because I feel if people knew, they would go to her for everything. She's like, I don't want to, like, it'll mess up, I think people's lives if you use that too much. And,
exactly.
Oh, fix my problem. So she's like, okay, I'm only kind of reserving this ability for when I really, really need to. And then she also said she really likes him, and that's something that she doesn't feel about for a lot of people. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna make an exception for this one person. So
do you think that she's gonna show her or do her powers more often, or use her power more often?
I think so, maybe to help Alec.
Yeah, as I'm saying, I feel like she's gonna be a person to guide him even farther now that he has his powers, or trying to learn his powers. I think she's gonna help him as much as she can by just giving him clues, because she said that she doesn't know, but she probably knows more than she's leading on, and she didn't tell us about her powers. Now that's there. So there's so much more to unpack, and I'm excited to see where that storyline goes.
Yeah, we have only 4 episodes left, so hopefully, like, her and Phantom Stranger can kind of like team up and like with Alec and kind of maybe help him deal with all his powers and everything. So
yeah, so we'll see.
We'll have a little bit of a Justice League Dark kind of thing.
That would be dope. I'm not gonna lie. But before we get into the predictions, we gotta talk about the whoa moments. We got a special segment going on. So what was the whoa moment in this episode for you?
Well, this one is more just like because of the information. It wasn't like a jump scare or anything, but for me it was just like Matt revealing to Lucilia that like he knows that she's sleeping with him. That was just like,
yeah,
shoot.
that was wild. I'm like, he's like, don't even come at me like that.
Like, better than sleeping with him. It's like, oh.
He just dropped a bomb, and she just like, oh. I mean, like, what can you say after that?
Which I'm kind of happy about, because I still don't get why she's sleeping with him. Like, I'm like, why? Stop it, girl. So I'm kind of glad that somebody, confronted her about it. Like, yes, even though I don't really like Matt anymore, I was happy that he did. I
was happy about him confronting her as well, because they at the end of the day, they both need to be checked. She stays having problems. She keeps going back to Avery and everything, and then he's using that as an excuse to go to Avery and work under him. It's like, you guys both have problems, but I'm glad that situation happened. And that was definitely a whoa moment, because I wasn't expecting him to know that.
Yeah, me neither.
Definitely wasn't expecting it. Mine would have to be, we talked about it, but it'd be the ending scene where you see Alec's face. And I thought that was really cool. Yeah. And I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to really see him in present day, I guess I would say, because we've seen flashbacks and stuff of the first time they met, but I wasn't expecting him to see in present day through his power. So I think that would be my whoa moment.
Do you think? Oh wait, never mind. I'll save it for predictions.
Look, we're teasing predictions all episode, and we got one more thing before we do predictions. don't you got some news for us, Anais?
I got a little bit of news
Uh-oh.
again,
AfterBuzz TV News.
So last week we talked about, showrunner Gary Dauberman. Well, he did another interview recently when he was promoting Annabelle Comes Home. And he was talking about how the cancellation was a punch to the gut. But he was very proud of the show and, the crew and the cast. And they tried very hard, him and fellow showrunner Mark Verheiden. They tried very hard to match the tone of the comics, so to give the characters respect. So hopefully you guys think that they did that. I think they did,
definitely.
And that he was looking forward to telling a couple more self-contained stories, 3 arc stories, maybe some stories that include werewolves and vampires. So he was very sad that they're not going to be able to do that on this show because it got canceled.
But hey, we still got a couple more episodes to go. There's still a lot of storylines to be talked about.
I'm excited.
And I'm excited. There's so much we can talk about. There's so many storylines, like I said. But what is your predictions that you think are coming next?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I feel like Halloween every time I hear that. And with Swamp Things with the green, it's just perfect.
Okay. Well, first, last week I said that Alec was gonna try to kill Matt, but I think the opposite. I think Matt's gonna try to kill Alec now. So that's one. Madame Xanadu, she's gonna try to help Alec maybe become Swamp Thing become Alec again. And just like a shot that I think is gonna happen that I think would be kind of cute is like, I just want to see one shot of Abby kissing Swamp Thing. So that's it. I
That
think
would be
it'd
hilarious.
So cute.
That would be
I just think it would be cute just for my own self.
Right when you said that, I'm like, did we ever see Belle and the Beast ever kiss? No.
They're gonna. But this is like up another
Exactly.
level. So
this is
it
true
might
love.
happen.
This is not Disney. This is true love.
Yes, exactly. This is DC.
Exactly. Yeah. So my prediction is kind of on the same with Matt. I have him turning full on evil in the fact that I think he's gonna turn on Abby. When he goes in there and talks to his mom, I'm expecting him to just tell the whole truth and be like, hey, Alec is still alive and somehow he's Swamp Thing. And I think them two are gonna team up and try to take down Swamp Thing.
Dang.
I don't think they're gonna be working with Avery. I think it's gonna be 2 different camps coming after Swamp Thing.
Okay.
Because Matt wants to kill him because he also doesn't want to get accused of killing Alec. And then the sheriff, I think she's just gonna help her son, and I think that's gonna be a way for them to kind of rekindle their relationship, even though they're gonna rekindle it over some evilness.
Yeah.
But evil people do evil things, so there's that. But then I see two different groups coming after Swamp Thing, and so
you know what? You know what's gonna make Matt become evil is when he sees Abby kiss Swamp Thing.
Oh, we got this.
Once he sees that,
Yes.
he's like, you know what? Fine, you're gonna kiss Swamp Thing. You're gonna kiss that girl's thing. Well, I'm done.
That would be hilarious. He just sends it in the mail. Swamp Thing just sends it in the mail over to him like, hey, guess what? And don't even say anything. Just a picture. Don't even say who it's from. That would be amazing.
Because how on some TV shows you'll just a character will catch the other two, they don't know that he's watching them. It's like, oh, sad. No.
The thing is, Matt's both of them have been in that position. Matt's been in that position, and then Swamp Thing was in that position since episode 1 when Abby was in the bar and he was just chilling outside watching Abby and Matt drink a little bit. So there's always been that man in the corner.
That they have that flower or that potion thing that kind of makes her see Alec, she's gonna kiss him. Just saying.
Very true. We're looking for a Swamp Thing Abby kiss.
Yeah,
make
come
it
on,
happen.
it's so cute.
I know you already shot the episodes, but make it happen.
Yeah, just do some quick reshoots, right?
Exactly.
Just one shot.
That's all we're asking. But that's it. I mean, we talked all things Swamp Thing, and this episode is episode 6, The Price to Pay. We have 4 more episodes left. It's going by quick. But before we leave, where can they find you?
Social media, Instagram at More Than You Think 7, and then the All That After Show with Jeff, and also the Young Justice Outsiders After Show with Jeff.
Yeah, we are teaming up. We are teaming up. Like she said, we got All That on Sundays. We got Young Justice on Sundays. I'm doing Euphoria on Sundays, and then you can catch us right back here on Fridays with Swamp Thing, and then. Even if you want to see more of me, I'm on Monday with Legion. But hey, you guys can find me at JeffWill_Jr. on all social media platforms. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. It was a great time, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.